Hi, my name is Michelle Minot. Welcome to Biz and Breakfast with Michelle. The next 45 minutes can seriously change your life. I'm going to show you how to make strong financial decisions that can impact your future and change it for the better. Hi, hello, and welcome to Biz and Breakfast with Michelle. I'm your host, Michelle Minot. And for those of you who celebrated, I hope you had a great Easter and a happy Passover. Okay, so let's get to the show. Joining us today is our beloved Chef Owen Mitchell, who comes to us from Oops Fine Cuisine. He's going to be telling us what's new and exciting in his organization and also preparing for us a great meal this morning. Our second guest is Ryan Whittle, and he comes to us from TerraVox Call Answering Service. And also, he's the strategic advisor for Bookseeker. So he's going to be talking about both those organizations. So without further ado, let's welcome beloved Chef Owen, also my good friend, to the stage. Hi.
Blessed morning.
Hi. It's so good to have you. Thank you for joining us today. Please take a seat.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So tell us what's new and exciting with you. And for those who in our audience who are just meeting you for the first time, tell us about Oops Fine Cuisine.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Just the name alone, it enlightens our day.
That's right.
And everything. Because many a times people say, oops, and I really have to correct them. Because it's oops, right? Meaning surprise.
Right.
Yes, but my name again is Owen Mitchell, Jamaican by birth. Came here over 30 years now. And since then, I learned the craft in Jamaica. Went to a catering school, Saunders Catering, after which I went to Runaway Bay Heart Academy. Then, working in various hotels and things straight over the country, Jamaica. So that's pretty much the background. What is new in the life of Oops? Much.
Okay.
We're working on our website now, and so I'm collecting pictures and all of that, and it's so exciting.
Very nice.
And the colorful aspect of it is like, wow, breathtaking.
Wow, that's amazing. And so do you find yourself developing new recipes often? Like, I don't know how your head works. Like, are you very creative like that?
Okay, getting into my head.
Yes.
All right. Yes, very creative because, I went through the culinary aspect of it. Even after leaving Jamaica, I came here and I went to George Brown College, right? So after George Brown, working in the hotels and convention center, it exposed me to various cuisines. So I pretty much can do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And what I do now is enhance the Jamaican cuisine with that touch
I
of
see.
other cuisines.
Okay, very nice. And so, how do you get inspired? Like, what inspires you to create something new?
I have to give it to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Right.
It's all about Him because everything that I do, it's dedicated to glorifying Him. So sometimes I will be here, like, yesterday trying to think about something to do a little bit different, even though it's a traditional Jamaican food. Trying to do it a little bit different, and then
Right.
it just clicks in my head. And
Wow.
that's just how it works with me.
Wow. And so, who on earth inspires you?
This wasn't the pathway I wanted to actually take. But my mom's,
Wow.
she saw it in me. from, I was a youth, and she was the one who sent me to the cooking schools in Jamaica.
Wow.
Not only that, I had an uncle, her brother, that was a chef. He taught it in a school in Jamaica, and he was very, very, very good.
So from a young age, she saw that you had that spark in the kitchen?
I think so, because I remember one day, I did something wrong, and for my punishment, she cooked all of the other children's meal, left mine separate, raw meat, everything. I had to cook it myself. So from there, I just did
Wow.
it, and that was from a young, tender
Wow.
age.
Wow.
So I
And
had to eat.
wow. And so, how do you stay above the competition? I know that the catering business must have so much competition.
Yes, it does. Um, this may sound, not quite familiar, like, everybody's aware of it, but I tend to put everything into the hands of God. Where He leads, I follow.
Right.
Even cooking the food, getting it ready, I put everything in His hands. Sometimes I know I make some mistakes here and there, but as a chef, we quickly correct the mistakes.
Right.
And it's just amazing to hear the responses after I have done a function. So everything to the glory of God.
Wow, that's amazing. And you recently, well, before we get into your trip, let's talk about your community service, because I'm also involved with you in that respect. So tell us about the initiatives that you're involved in the community.
Well, one in particular, and it brings me great joy to talk about, because we have seen a lot of things, happen. And I work with the crew, yourself, at Victorious Works Ministry, feeding the homeless, the
Right.
hungry, the
Right.
poor in the downtown Toronto core.
Yes.
And it has been so uplifting.
Yeah.
Right? I dedicate myself to making the soup
Right.
and carrying it and distributing it. Other people like yourself have other things that you carry and we give away, and it's just a joy to do it.
Absolutely. And it comes from a heart of pure love. Like, I just think that when we're down there, downtown, and giving with such selflessness, it was pouring rain last week, and we still made it down. We didn't let the rain deter us. Like, I can't tell you how hard it was pouring. And we said, no, we still have to go. And Brother Owen said, watch, it's going to stop as soon as I start setting up. And the rain stopped as soon as he set out the table. And it was just amazing. We've experienced that so many times with that downtown ministry. It's just really a work of God, I think.
If I may, that day for me was one which I will always talk about, because before we left Brampton, I normally pray and we pray and all of that, and I asked the Lord for a clear path to downtown, because usually this time of the day the traffic
That's
is
right.
heavy and all of that, and amazingly, it was a clear path for
Wow.
us. We met, a little bit of traffic, but trust me, I was so amazed by that.
Right.
And then also included in the prayer was for the rain to stop when we
Right.
reach. So, and trust me, I'm just in awe.
That's right. That's right. So you recently went to Jamaica, and tell us about that.
Mm. The Jamaica trip, it was wonderful. One of which I think, I will mark as one of the best that
Wow.
for
Okay.
me. Even the mere fact that the Lord used me to speak to people and to pray for people while I was down there. It was our 10th anniversary, and my wife and I went, and it was a couple of us that went down from Canada and all of that, and it it was so amazing. You know, the people that we met in the resort that we were, and trust me, we left there with, you know, a totally different image, and you know what we did with the people there and the waiters and everybody else is like, you know, we just shine a different light on the place.
Wow.
From even also the bus drivers, when they see us, how they would respond to us just because of how we talk to them and embrace them
Wow,
as
that's nice.
people.
That's
And
nice.
this happened wherever we went.
That's nice.
And we did go around. We enjoyed the country.
That's really good.
Yes.
And so I'm really curious, like when you sit down to eat, especially in Jamaica, because the food is delicious there. So when you sit down to eat, do you find yourself like thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I could do this, I could add that. And like, how does your brain work again when you sit down to have a great meal?
Exactly so.
Really?
Because, you know, we went to an all-inclusive, and as a chef, I had to befriend the chef there and the staff in the kitchen. So, you know, I'm sorry to say I had a little bit of preference here and there, right? But yes, you see how things are presented. I taste, and what would I do different here or there?
Right.
But I enjoyed it because many a times, you know, people will always say, you know, they're not cooking for a chef and all of that. But we enjoy people cooking for us.
That's right.
Because we're tasting, you know.
The different styles.
There you go.
Yes,
right?
I get
so
that.
it was beautiful. And just appearance, how people set their plates. You know, I was sit and, because just the atmosphere, being in the Caribbean, and what it actually signifies, and the sun in the backdrop and whatever else, and it's a different feel. So every plate that came in front of me, I'm like looking at it, and I could do this way, I could do that.
That's really
way.
crazy. Yeah, that's
I
good.
can't help it.
Yeah, it's just ingrained in you at this point.
Amen.
And so what are some of the challenges that you kind of face on a daily basis, or some that you've had to overcome?
You know, one of the main things is relating to people where prices are concerned.
Okay.
Because irrespective of cost of living being this high, and it's,
Yes.
you know, food costs
That's right.
so
I
much,
can't even imagine.
it's
That's
hard
right.
to relate it into a menu and to say to somebody, this
This
really
has gone
is the
up
cost.
so much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I am putting together a function for a convention, and the person wanted oxtail. So they say, yeah, they can get
We
the
know the
oxtail
oxtail
and whatever,
prices.
whatever. So I said, even though you're getting the oxtail, you know the price that you're going to pay,
That's right.
you know, with respect to the amount of people that will be there.
Yes. Yeah.
And after I checked it out, it would cost just $975 for oxtail.
Wow.
And that's just one part of the meal.
Yeah, one part. Oh my goodness. Yeah, things have really gotten up.
So that's one of the most difficult part, because it's like a culture shock sometimes when you tell people the price for this or the price for that, because they're not expecting it.
Right.
If they're on the outside and, you know, this is something that they have to deal with on a regular basis, no problem, because then they would actually come back to me because they realize that my price is not, but I can't put it any higher because of my Lord and Savior.
I understand.
I have to be fair in everything that I do.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to be taking a short break, and Chef Owen is going to head to the kitchen and create a fabulous meal for us. And don't go away, because Ryan Wilson will be joining us. Ryan Whittle will be joining us after the break. Don't go away. Are you looking for the perfect home or trying to navigate today's changing market? Whether you're buying or selling, contact Michelle Minot for real estate advice you can count on. For professional and reliable service, go to finditgta.ca or call 647-739-4663.
More Mortgaging. We do real estate financing and mortgages. We do purchases, refinances, first, second, and third mortgages, home equity loans, etc.
Are you looking for the perfect home or trying to navigate today's changing market? Whether you're buying or selling, contact Michelle Minot for real estate advice you can count on. For professional and reliable service, go to finditgta.ca or call 647-739-4663.
Thinking of buying or selling your home, but not sure where to start? Hi, my name is Deloshan Shanmulingam, and I'm here to help you with all your home buying and selling inquiries. With over 7 years of experience and a passion for real estate, I can provide you with expert advice and guidance for a stress-free experience. Contact me, Deloshan Shanmulingam, at 416-877-7834. There's a home out there for everyone. Let me help you find yours.
Hi, welcome back. We're joined by Ryan Whittle. He is the founder of TerraVox call answering service, and he is also the strategic advisor at Bookseeker, and he's going to be talking about both those organizations today. Welcome. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that
you?
you're here. I'm perfect. Thank you.
Good, good.
And so before we get started with your organizations, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm Ryan, last name Whittle. Like your previous guest, also Jamaican background.
Okay, nice.
No Canadian. And yeah, that's pretty
And
much
how
it.
was immigrating here and starting up? Like, are you a serial entrepreneur? Do you just think business?
Yeah, you know what? I have a long record of failed businesses.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I'm one of the people that keeps trying.
Nothing
right?
wrong with trying.
Yeah. So, in all seriousness, though, yeah, I do have a little bit of an entrepreneurial streak.
Okay.
I do like testing ideas and trying new
Good.
things and working on new approaches, right?
Good.
So, TerraVox is one of the results of that experimentation, and it's been
Okay.
working very well so far, actually.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
excellent. So let's get into TerraVox.
Yes.
Tell us exactly what that is.
All right, so TerraVox is a call answering service, right? Essentially, we provide virtual receptionists and virtual administrative assistants, if you want to put it that way, to help business owners with taking some of those essential yet tedious tasks off their plate,
Okay.
right? So that they can focus on growing their business and developing as entrepreneurs.
Okay, so on the screen, we're seeing a little bit of TerraVox right now online. And so why was this important to do?
All right, this was important to do first and foremost because it is a very well needed service. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
This is something that most business owners do not, they're not aware that it exists.
Right.
But once they find out that something like this exists at the fraction of the cost of hiring a full-time employee, 9 times out of 10, it is it's a no-brainer for most business owners, right? And I like the idea of offering that kind of service that is so important that it solves an essential need.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm an entrepreneur, like I run my real estate business. So how can I utilize your services?
All right. So if you are a real estate agent, some of the ways I could think that you could utilize a call answering service. Number one, you probably have a steady stream of inbound leads that take up a lot of time for you to initially receive, qualify, respond to. Maybe there's a bit of phone tag at first, right? That could be taken care of. We could easily build a process that allows us to help you qualify your leads, so that by the time they get to you, they're already vetted and ready to work. Additionally, I imagine that every now and then you have a buyer's list that needs to be reminded of an upcoming event, maybe an open house, something like that. And we do have individuals on staff who can help you make those reminder calls, right? Additionally, maybe you have tasks to do with research on a particular property, right? An administrative assistant that works virtually can get acquainted with your systems, and they probably already are, and help you do some essential research to save you time. So you could focus more on brainstorming and figuring out how to strategically grow your venture.
Okay, I didn't know you dealt with research and that sort of thing too.
Correct.
That's excellent.
We can help with that. We have access to enough databases or even access to client software.
Yes.
That takes that tedious task off the table.
Well, that's amazing. And you also deal with lead generation. How are some ways that you create leads?
All right. So if you as a client already have a list of customers that you'd like to reach, we can easily design some kind of outbound lead generation program, which will utilize a combination of phone calls, emails, and maybe texts as well to put your offer in front of that list in such a way that we generate as much interest as possible. Even further, clients who don't come with a list can benefit from our list development service, right? Okay. So we can actually go ahead and not only do the lead generation for you in the second part, but also up front, help you find lists of qualified clients, which we can then apply sales techniques to help you generate leads.
Wow, I didn't even know you did all that. I'm so fascinated by the service. I'm thinking about it for myself. Yeah. And so what are some ways you increase an organization's productivity?
Right. So the main increase to organizational productivity comes from the fact that when our service is properly utilized, the individuals who lead an organization have much more time to focus on tasks that have a higher return, right? So instead of moving around in such a way where you're putting out fires and reacting instead of proactively responding, you'll find that you, as the business owner, can now take a step back, look at what's actually working because you're no longer inundated with small tasks, and start to think big picture about how can I grow the business. That's the most important thing that you'll start to see. You'll start to notice patterns and start to see maybe elements of the business that are scalable that you didn't realize because you were too busy doing the small things. Right? So it's that kind of long-term benefit that you're going to derive from outsourcing tasks, right? And just to kind of keep talking about that, I think eventually every entrepreneur is going to get to the point where they realize that the return on their time when they try to do everything themselves is very low, right? There are very few things that you should be doing yourself, actually.
That's true.
All right? It's better if most of your time is spent thinking, forecasting, maybe motivating a team, setting goals, tracking your metrics, that kind of thing. And you can't do that when you're bogged down answering a phone call. It doesn't work. So that dream of that entrepreneur that you want to be eludes you constantly because you are drowned in inconsequential details that ultimately don't move the needle.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And how do you maintain or assure that customer of quality assurance, assure that the phones are being answered, that sort of thing?
100%. A few different ways. Typical contact center management includes the basic things like you have call monitoring that happens where calls are actually audited on a weekly basis and they're scored against a custom scorecard that's developed for each client, right? Based upon the results of that scoring, they're also coached on improvement opportunities, right? The staff that work with us also participate in an incentive program that is designed to incentivize the top performers and maintain a competitive spirit, if you will. So you'll find that individuals strive for excellence, right? Moreover, on top of that, we utilize advanced technology to do things like, most people don't know this is possible, but things like sentiment analysis, right? So you actually have a system that monitors every single call in real time as it is happening and uses artificial intelligence to kind of detect the sentiment of the call. How is it going? Because computers now are smart enough to detect whether a call is taking on an angry tone or a pleasant tone. And it could actually notify a supervisor, right, that this call is taking a turn for the worse. Maybe you should listen in.
Wow.
And if you need to barge in and take over the call, you can.
Oh my
So
gosh.
all of these things are possible now.
Wow.
And included in our service.
That's amazing. That's really news to me. I didn't even know that even existed.
Yes.
Wow. And so in terms of the metrics and the data collection, how do you make it palatable to the customer? Not everybody is an analyst and can look at data and interpret it. So how do you make it palatable?
Yeah. So for our client, we focus on the key metrics that help them determine whether they're getting value for money.
Okay.
Right? So weekly, each client receives a report. That report helps them understand how much time was consumed, how long agents are spending rectifying issues, how much of their calls were rectified on the first, how much of their inquiries were rectified the first time the person called, right? And depending on the campaign and how it's working, we also focus on things like number of contacts made, number of appointments booked, and number of leads closed, number of leads qualified, that kind of a thing. So all of that is depending on how your business runs, is summarized in a weekly report. That helps you see very quickly whether this is working for you or not, right? And I take that, as I guess, as a challenge to make sure that everyone receives value for money, right? That you can actually see that the time gained and the efficiencies gained from utilizing this service make it almost beyond question, right?
I understand.
Because the average life of a customer in this industry is about 18 months, right? And one of my personal goals is to kind of extend that, right? We want to see if we could keep clients with us for 3, 4, 5 years. And the only way to do that is if you clearly demonstrate by the metrics that there's value for money here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get you. And what are some of the organizations that can utilize this service?
All right. So think about it like this, right? Generally speaking, the organizations that benefit from our service are the ones where there's human-to-human interaction required, right? So if you're a service provider of any sort, let's just think about the people who deal with the human body, from massage therapists to physiotherapists to occupational therapists to a wide range of other individuals in the healthcare field. While they're providing a service, they're unable to provide to attend to the phone, essentially. Right? The same thing goes for other people that provide human-to-human services. If you're thinking about the trades, if you're thinking about pest removal or pest control, right? If you're thinking about hands-on services like cleaning companies, real estate agencies, that kind of thing, all benefit, right? And I think generally individuals struggle with the idea of releasing control to someone else.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right?
so true.
And I try to work with everyone to kind of allay that fear. And it's one of those things where you never realize that you needed to do it until you actually do it.
Yes, I think that relinquishing control is also, the mindset is, will this person do a good job? Will they maintain the relationship? So because, relationship building, especially in real estate, is so important. And I think that that's what's behind a lot of that mindset.
Yes, yes. And that's why it's important, I think, too, for when a call is answered or an email is responded to, that it come off as being from a member of your team, right? And we strive for that because there's actually, generally for every client, more than one agent assigned, right? So that they can learn the style and the tone in which you like to work and that kind of thing. And it's supposed to be a long-term relationship.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And do the receptionists work specific hours?
Right, so right now we're working from 6 a.m. Eastern Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's enough to provide coverage to most needs in the Eastern Time Zone, as well as some needs in the Pacific and Central and Mountain Time as well.
Okay.
Right, all between that 14-hour period.
I see.
It's pretty good for most people,
And-
right?
Go ahead.
I was going to say that the goal ideally would be 24 hours.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're working towards that.
And how do you promote yourself?
All right, so generally right now, I try to do a lot of content marketing, right? We have a team who's involved in developing content which we're distributing across the internet. We're talking mostly written content, but also some video content,
Okay.
right? That will compound over time, we're hoping, and lead to some inbound business, right? I'm also beginning to proactively participate in some individual one-on-one outreach,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Not broadly kind of spraying in that way, but focusing on individuals who I genuinely think we can help. Yeah, and really going in there and putting our training infrastructure and operations infrastructure to use and really helping them transform their business.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that I don't know if you do trade shows, but I know that there's a massive real estate trade show, usually around May. And I think a lot of independent realtors, independent brokers would really be happy for this kind of service because, you know, like you're saying, like we're doing everything on our own and you can get drowned in that process.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and it's just, to me, super important for even a real estate professional just to kind of think of the bigger picture, right? Think of where they want to be 10 years from now. Think
That's
of
right.
how much control over your time you want to retain, right? Some people don't realize that by working less, they can increase their hourly rate,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's something to seriously consider for
Yes,
most people.
I agree. I agree with you. And so if someone wants to get in touch with you with regards to this business, how would they do that?
All right, so you can visit our website. That's taravox.com, TARAVOX.com, and sign up there for a 7-day free trial. You can also email us at hello@taravox.com or email me, Ryan@taravox.com. That's RHYON@taravox.com. Or call me directly even, 647-951-2255.
Okay.
All right, and I actually have a special offer for individuals who find us from my conversation with you here.
Okay.
Let me know if you saw me here, BIZ and Breakfast, and you'll enjoy a 30% discount for the first 2 months.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So-
Wow. So I hope you all heard that. So if you can say that you saw TerraVox on BIZ and Breakfast, you get a 30% discount. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank you for
you're
that.
welcome.
Okay, so we're going to move on to what you're also doing. You are a strategic advisor at Bookseeker, and I think that this is an excellent service.
Yes.
So tell our audience about Bookseeker.
Certainly. So Bookseeker, which you can access by going to the internet, go to bookseeker.io, right? Not .com, .io. Bookseeker is essentially a service that's focused on sustainability, right? We help students, college and university students specifically, get money for trading in their used textbooks,
Okay.
right? Not only that, we're increasingly finding that residential homes, households, some teachers and schools and professionals are finding the service useful for spring cleaning and clearing out their book collection. Essentially what happens, what it allows is for you to visit our website, enter the ISBNs from the back of your book, and get a quote or a price immediately that tells you how much we'd pay for that book, right? After you enter all your books, you'll generate a shipping label from our website. Shipping is free. They'll arrive at our facility, be inspected, and you'll be paid by either right now e-transfer or PayPal.
And so you said specifically college and university books. And so are there books that you will turn down?
Generally speaking, no. There's no book that we turn down, right? Our website, though, it uses some kind of algorithm, you'd say, to kind of determine whether it'd be cost effective for us to buy that particular book,
I see.
right?
Okay.
And you'll find that the people with the highest rates of books being accepted by our system tend to be college and university students, right? But you also find households where the individuals are avid readers and they have lots of current books from maybe new authors, and they're able to also cash in their used books that way.
Okay.
So it works both ways, but mostly college and university students will find it beneficial.
And do you, I guess, buy and sell any other educational material or just specifically books?
Yeah, just books, workbooks as well, if you want to put it that way. Sometimes there's packs of study materials or practice materials as well that we're able to purchase, but it mostly all falls underneath books and workbooks.
Okay. And how did you get into this?
I got into this, so the team that started this business, we were actually at first recycling books, right? So books that were donated by households pretty much across Ontario. We were sorting through them, recycling them, extracting some of the valuable ones and generating an income as a profit-making enterprise, right? But over time, we found that it might be more efficient to leverage technology so that we could maybe not have to deal with the manual sorting of large amounts of books anymore, and to allow us to maybe offer a service that would be more streamlined and focus on a more evergreen niche, right? And for us, that niche was textbooks and instructional materials.
Okay.
So we decided to kind of pivot from what we were doing and focus more on the educational materials niche. That's all.
I think it's so important because there's so much need for that service. I think of these kids that, you know, halfway through you decide to change your major and you're left with a lot of textbooks that you're not using, or the end of a school year, and again, you don't utilize the textbooks once the year is done.
Yes.
You know, so it is a very valuable service, I think.
Yeah, certainly. And I think most people don't realize that the perception, how most people perceive used books is that they have no value or little value, right? But, and as a result, they end up treating them like that. Sometimes they end up in the garbage, or they end up sitting on shelves indefinitely, right? But there is many times for many of those books a market, right? And I look at that team's job as putting systems in place to help us identify those and put them back out there so they could be loved and read again.
I love that you stay so busy.
And you know what? For example, Bookseeker, it probably doesn't even take as much time as you think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. It's a very small niche, and as a result, it's also seasonal,
Okay.
right? Because you're dealing with
That
maybe
makes
3 times a
sense.
year where you
Yeah.
have demand. So it's something that is, for all intents and purposes, part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what gets you up in the morning? What motivates you in the morning?
What motivates me? The joy of being alive. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes I think we take the fact that we're alive for granted, right? And sometimes I think every day we need to revisit the fact that we have another day and maybe interrogate the fact that maybe at someday we'll pass away, sometime we'll die. So let's try to maximize this day.
That's right, and
Yeah.
make the most of it.
So
I agree with you.
That's what keeps me going,
Okay.
wanting to make the most of this time that I have.
Wow, you
Yeah.
certainly are. I really commend you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And so, how can we get in touch with you if someone is interested in Bookseeker?
All right. So the first thing is that if you have books you'd like to sell, you should visit our website at bookseeker.io. If you need to call for some reason, all right, you can call us at 1-877-483-4131. Alternately, you can also email hello@bookseeker.io, all right? And someone would be happy to return your call or respond to your email.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ryan. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break, but don't go away because we're going to head to the kitchen and meet up with our beloved Chef Owen and see what he's created for us. Don't go away. Are you looking for the perfect home or trying to navigate today's changing market? Whether you're buying or selling, contact Michelle Minot for real estate advice you can count on. For professional and reliable service, go to finditgta.ca or call 647-739-4663.
More mortgaging. We do real estate financing and mortgages. We do purchases, refinances, first, second, and third mortgages, home equity loans, etc.
Are you looking for the perfect home or trying to navigate today's changing market? Whether you're buying or selling, contact Michelle Minot for real estate advice you can count on. For professional and reliable service, go to finditgta.ca or call 647-739-4663.
Thinking of buying or selling your home, but not sure where to start? Hi, my name is Deloshan Shanmolingam, and I'm here to help you with all your home buying and selling inquiries. With over 7 years of experience and a passion for real estate, I can provide you with expert advice and guidance for a stress-free experience. Contact me, Deloshan Shanmolingam, at 416-877-7834. There's a home out there for everyone. Let me help you find yours.
Hello, and welcome again to Biz and Breakfast with Michelle. We're joined by Chef Owen Mitchell of Oops Fine Cuisine, and he's prepared for us a spread this morning. So tell us what you have here.
All right. I just did some sliced fruits. We have orange, cantaloupe, pineapple, grapes, strawberry. All right. I doubled the plate. And also ackee and saltfish, Jamaica's national dish.
Right.
With fried dumplings.
I love the way you did the fried dumpling. You made like a bowl with the actual fried dumpling. Like, you're just so creative. You blow me away half the time.
So that's what the mind came up with when I sat back and thought about it and everything.
Right.
I said I had to come up with something a little bit different.
Right.
So this is what I came up with. It's a fried dumpling dough.
Okay.
I kind of rolled it and fried it that way. And that's the end product.
I see. And traditionally, it comes in the balls.
Right.
Right.
And also we have a breakfast drink, I would say, because many of people in the mornings when we get up, it's all about a green drink.
Yes.
Right? To sustain you throughout the rest of the day, and it's the healthy part of it. So it's a cucumber juice, but also I have freshly squeezed orange juice inside of it.
Okay.
Right? Ginger, and it's sweetened with
I can't
honey.
wait to try it.
All right, so this is what we have here. It's up to you to try now.
I'm going to try, absolutely. I'm going to try the juice, if that's okay,
Go
because
right
I'm
ahead.
so thirsty and it looks delicious. I've never put that combination together.
I would have, normally I put turmeric in it.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Right,
And
but-
turmeric is quite healthy for you too.
Right.
Right.
And especially for me who suffers with arthritis, it is said that the turmeric is good for you.
Yes.
Also with the cucumbers. So a delight.
Well, you blow me away each and every time. And so did you change around the ackee and saltfish recipe, or is it very traditional?
It's very traditional.
Yeah, you can't play with the ackee and saltfish
No,
too much.
no. This comes standard.
That's right.
But the beauty about this ackee is it came straight up from Jamaica with
Wow.
me
Oh,
when I went on
that's
vacation.
the best. I love
So
that.
even when you taste it, it's gonna taste different.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So how do we get in touch with you if we're interested in contacting Oops Fine Cuisine?
Just call me at 416-433-6754. I'm on Facebook a lot at Owen Mitchell or Oops Fine Cuisine.
Okay.
You can hook me up there. Most times I'm there. I'm working on the website now. It's coming out very, 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 very soon. So it will feature a lot of what we do and all of that. I am looking forward to come out with, like I mentioned it before, but a jerk pasta, jerk fettuccine pasta,
Okay.
or something to that effect.
Very nice.
And
Okay.
also spring rolls.
All right. So thank you for joining us for the show. We'll see you again at Biz and Breakfast with Michelle. Have a great day.